Bubblegum, often spelled Bubblegum, is a well-known German-Russian professional Apex Legends streamer and content creator. He is highly regarded in the community for his high-level gameplay, particularly as a controller player who has achieved the rank of #1 Apex Predator. Many players look to him for his specific controller settings, sensitivity configurations, and movement techniques, which are frequently shared in community highlight videos to help others improve their own aim and performance. Which controller does Bubblegum use? When a fan directly asked him what controller he uses shortly before he planned to take a break from grinding rank points, Bubblegum replied simply and clearly with Hyperstrike PS4. He has publicly praised this setup on multiple occasions. In one post, he expressed huge thanks to the people who send him a Hyperstrike PS4, stating that the controller feels insane and describing it as the best PS4 controller you can get. Hyperstrike refers to a high-performance custom controller board, often installed in a DualShock 4 PS4 style shell, that is popular among competitive Apex Legends players. These builds commonly feature an extremely high polling rate, such as 8 kHz, advanced stick modules, and extensive customization options. Builds associated with Bubblegum have included features such as JS13 Pro Plus TMR, tunnel magnetoresistance, thumbsticks, clicky triggers, microswitch paddles or domes, and microswitch shoulder buttons. Bubblegum controller settings. The aim setup relies on the classic 4-1 linear layout, which is widely considered the standard for high-level Apex controller gameplay due to its instantaneous stick response. Look sensitivity set to 4. This level provides fast turning speed for tracking targets across your screen and executing sharp movement turn. ADS sensitivity set to 1. Keeping ADS at 1 stabilizes your aim when zoomed in, maximizing the sticky feel of rotational aim assist during micro adjustments. Response curve set to linear. Unlike the classic setting which smooths out initial stick movements, linear maps raw physical thumbstick displacement directly to on-screen movement. This allows for fine recoil control based purely on muscle memory. Peroptic sensitivity left off, or set to 1.0x across all scopes, to ensure consistent aiming muscle memory across different optics. Dead zone management is critical for linear players to eliminate stick drift without sacrificing precision. Look dead zone set to 15%. Setting this to none provides instantaneous aim reaction. If your controller has severe wear and experiences unintended camera drifting, raise this setting to small. Movement dead zone set to small. A small movement dead zone prevents accidental directional inputs while maintaining precise strafes. Trigger dead zone set to default. Completely removing trigger dead zones allows weapon firing and ADS actions to trigger immediately upon touching L2-R2. Vibration set to off. Disabling haptic feedback prevents rumble motors from disrupting fine thumb movements during long-range beam tracking. Bubblegum video settings. Bubblegum video settings prioritize competitive performance, higher effective field of view, and a stretch-style resolution feel while keeping graphics low for maximum frame rates and clarity. Bubblegum uses a custom resolution of 1920 by 1440. This is a 4:3 aspect ratio stretch resolution. In the in-game video menu, it often displays incorrectly as something like 1152 by 864, especially on a 1080p monitor, but the actual render resolution is forced via Steam launch option. In the game menu, FOV appears as 110. However, the launch option plus CL_FOV 1.7 raises the effective FOV to approximately 110. This gives a wider peripheral view that is popular among high-level players for better awareness, while the in-game slider stays at the maximum standard value of 110. FOV ability scaling is turned off. This prevents abilities, such as certain stims or ultimate effects, from temporarily altering the FOV, which helps maintain consistent aim and visual feel. Sprint view shake is set to the lowest option, minimal or small, to reduce camera movement while sprinting and improve overall stability and aim consistency. Bubblegum prioritizes maximum performance and visibility. He sets the majority of advanced graphics options to low or disable. This includes reducing or turning off shadows, ambient occlusion, volumetric lighting, effects detail, impact marks, and similar settings that can clutter the screen or cost frames without providing meaningful competitive advantage. Brightness set 65%. A slight increase over default makes dark corners inside buildings easier to spot enemies in without blowing out outdoor highlights. The primary objective of these settings is to strip away unnecessary shadows, lighting calculations, and heavy post-processing effects that create input lag or obscure player models. V-Sync set to disable. Vertical sync introduces significant input latency, which harms fast tracking. Use NVIDIA G-Sync FreeSync or in-game frame rate caps instead. NVIDIA Reflex set to enable. This reduces system latency by optimizing GPU-CPU synchronization and keeps GPU clock speeds high during intense firefights. Adaptive resolution FPS target set to 0. Setting this above 0 dynamically scales resolution down to maintain target frame, which causes distracting blurring during movement. Adaptive supersampling set to disable. Anti-aliasing set to none. Turning off anti-aliasing provides the sharpest image and highest FPS, though TSAA can be used if jagged edges distract you. Lowering shadow and lighting settings delivers the largest performance boost without making player models look worse. Texture streaming budget set to low. 2 GB, or match to your dedicated GPU VRAM, e.g., medium 3 GB to high 4 GB. Setting this moderately ensures character models and surfaces load cleanly without causing stutter. Texture filtering set to bilinear. Bilinear provides the maximum frame rate gain while keeping ground textures readable. Ambient occlusion quality set to disable. Disabling contact shadows brightens dark areas under buildings and structures, making enemy legends stand out against environmental backgrounds. Sun shadow coverage and detail set to low. Reduces GPU workload by lowering outdoor shadow density. Spot shadow detail and dynamic spot shadows set to disable. Completely removes artificial indoor dynamic shadows that drop frames during close-range fights. Volumetric lighting set to disable. Removes volumetric fog and sunbeam glares that blind you when looking toward light sources. Model detail set to low. Low eliminates extra decorative environmental assets while keeping enemy models fully visible at long ranges. Effects detail and impact marks set to low. Lowers particle clutter from abilities, like Bangalore smokes or thermite fires, so your view remains clear during heavy squad fights. Ragdoll set to low. Simplifies body physics when players are eliminated, preventing dead bodies from cluttering your view or consuming CPU cycles. Bubblegum gear. Bubblegum plays on a custom controller setup designed to execute advanced movement techniques like tap strafing, wall bouncing, and directional air strafing without compromising aim. He uses a modified Hyperstrike PS4 DualSense Edge controller equipped with back paddles. Using rear paddles allows his right thumb to stay permanently glued to the right aiming stick while jumping, crouching, or swapping weapons. The controller is additionally outfitted with low-tension analog stick modules and elevated thumbstick extenders, such as Control Freeze, on the right stick to increase leverage, making micro-adjustments far more precise on a raw linear response curve. Clear spatial audio positioning is essential in Apex Legends for hearing footstep directions, shield battery consumes, and third-party movements. Bubblegum relies on high-end competitive esports headsets, typically utilizing models like the Razer Blackshark V2 V3 Pro or Sennheiser EPOS Openback Studio headphones driven by a dedicated digital-to-analog converter, DAC. This setup boosts high-frequency sound cues like footsteps and door kicks while flattening low-end bass explosions that usually obscure critical enemy movement audio. To maximize frame rate clarity and motion comprehension during rapid 180-degree camera turns, Bubblegum uses a 240Hz to 360Hz esports monitor, frequently a Bank Zowie XL series monitor featuring DIAC Plus technology. DIAC reduces motion blur caused by rapid backlight strobing, allowing targets to remain visually clear while tracking across the screen. The monitor is kept at a 1080p resolution on a 24.5-inch panel size, ensuring high pixel density, low input latency, and consistent frame rates. To maintain a steady frame rate capped at high refresh rates without frame drops during intense endgame rings, his PC system utilizes a top-tier CPU and GPU combination, such as an AMD Ryzen 7 7800X 3D paired with an NVIDIA RTX 4090 series graphics card. On Steam, Bubblegum employs custom launch options to enforce custom stretched aspect ratios, such as 1920 by 1440 stretched, and eliminate software-level input delay. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on the latest news and updates. Drop a comment below sharing your favorite gaming setup tips or what you'd like to see next on the channel. Let's build a gaming community together.